Alright, today I'm gonna work on this case 446 again. I was using it a little while ago going downhill toward the river with the dump trailer over here and found out that this thing has 0 brakes, and I was hauling going downhill, so I'd want to address that. And then what I'd really like to do is finally, it's over here under all these tarps and stuff, I'd like to finally put this belly mower on it and see how this thing actually mows. So let's get started and find out. That's cool, the little attachment lift works. I hadn't actually tried that yet, so that's good to know. And I was trying to show you before, I don't know if you could really see, but this wheel seems to be our only brake mechanism. As the gears turn in this thing, that wheel shifts, rotates, and when you press on the brake lever on the other side over there, that should work this mechanism to clamp that down and be your brakes. So I'm gonna try to take that mechanism apart, I think, and maybe sand the pads on the wheel, sand the outer face of the wheel and the inside of the clamp on it, and maybe we can also make some adjustments to just tighten up the mechanism to give a little bit more strength to it, a little bit more braking power. Here's what it does when I press the pedal. That's me going all the way in, back out. All the way in, back out. So it looks like I could maybe thread this in or out, and it would make this pull a little tighter. I might be able to make an adjustment down here as well, just to pull that clamp in a little tighter. And then I also noticed under here, this foot pad, or yeah, your footrest, isn't even all the way onto this thing. Maybe I can pry this upwards a bit and hammer it. This goes all the way through to the other side of the pedal. Maybe I can hammer this back in to that hole. Also just wanted to say this thing has a PTO belt that goes to a pulley in the front and goes down to the belly mower or any other attachments you're using. And this was the old belt given to me by the previous owner. As you can see, it's pretty frayed and probably not good for usage, so I looked the thing over really well and cleaned it up a bit, and I don't know if you can even see it, but it says power rated 6871 and then made in USA 168 ET. So you take that, type that into Google, and you'll find your replacement belt. Because I actually went to a couple stores already and they said they couldn't help me with these old cases, even though they were an international harvester dealer. Luckily eBay has got me covered. And we'll have that on its way in here in a couple days. There we go. It's a lot more sturdy now. There's a lot of play in this, just held together by cotter pins, it seems. Let's see if we can't tighten this up. Just get our brakes back with an adjustment. If I bring this further down here, it'll pull farther. And maybe close the clamp tight enough. So to do that, I'm gonna have to pull this cotter pin out, undo this linkage, rotate it back far enough, and then pull it back and reconnect it. Now let's see if we can't save these cotter pins, because I don't have any replacements for them. Oh yeah. Alright. Freeze up that. Let me spray that with some penetrating oil and we'll try to work that back a bit. Try to use some vice grips to hold it where when I'm twisting on it, it's not gonna torque this bar too much and twist anything. Alright, we'll try right there, see what happens. Hopefully it won't be too hard to get this connected back. Oh, no, that won't be hard. See if I can feel a difference. Feels like it works a little bit. Let's step back a bit. Let's see. Right now we're in neutral. Push this whole thing pretty effortlessly. I'm going to engage our parking brake, which before wouldn't even engage or stay engaged. Push that lever down. Now the parking brake is on. Yeah, that's not going. Now hopefully this thing is a little safer to take down hills. Ah, but look at that. This already popped back off. That's pretty lame. Let's test it out in actual use. Got a couple of pretty tractors here. Brakes on the case seem to be working way better than they were. Seem to be working really good. It's a hydrostatic tractor, so it doesn't really seem like it likes the brakes being put on while it's in gear, but it definitely works. It'll overpower the gears and it'll stop you. Now I'm just gonna wait for the PTO belt to get here and we'll throw the belly mower on that. It's a 3-blade mower and I've never mowed with it before, so we're gonna see how well it can handle this thicket I've got here. It's over my knees right now. It's not just here, we're gonna mow like all out here, and that's not as thick, but we're gonna see how well it does and see what it can handle. So let's go take it back over where it belongs and wait for that belt to come in. And there she is, back home. And real quick before anyone says anything, I did get that cotter pin back in there, just as proof. I know I didn't get it on camera, but it's there. Here's our old belt, and here's our new belt. Seeming to be about the same length. Same width and thickness. That's good. I think we got the same kind. Try to dig this mower out of here. This thing is freaking heavy. These blades are incredibly dull, but they all turn nice. Whoops! Let's pull the mower out. Now I'm going to try to wiggle that giant belly mower underneath here and hook it up. Might need to look at the manual a bit because I've never done it. But this thing should hopefully be a mean little mower. I'm excited to see how it does. Do you care about this, Susan? Going into sport mode for this. Alright, definitely seems to me like I gotta pull this whole thing off, which doesn't seem that complicated. It's just a couple cotter pins. They are old and rusty cotter pins though, so we'll see if I can reuse them. Almost there. Think we got it. Boom. Now I should be able to pop this out. Don't want to lose my washer. That comes out. Got my tensioner spring. That is out. Turn the wheel to get a little extra room. Alright, that's about perfect. Right up under there, now I can reattach the front lift gear all up in here, and that will hook into these pins and onto these bolts right there. That will leverage the front, and then we'll go attach the back side. There we go. Got this back on. Now I think I need to scoot it back a bit. I gotta get these hooks around these bolts. Gotta stay lined up. We just need a couple inches. Might have been a hair too far. I'm also gonna prop it up on some wood. Sweet. I didn't realize those could lock open. Gotta go backwards a bit. Alright, got those in. Now, let's get the backside. Alright, come around to the back. We've got our lifting arms that attach to our lifting mechanism right here. side. Now let's go around and do the same with the other. And now we gotta open the hood and get the new belt fed down around those pulleys, around the one pulley in the middle, and around the fan belt. Alright, we got our new belt here. Let's try to get this down where it needs to be. So it's pretty hard for you guys to see on video, but we gotta get it in front of this radiator fan and sitting on this PTO pulley right here. Oh, and it's a pretty tight squeeze. Alright, now we've got our belt on our PTO pulley down there. Now let's go around to this side. Here's our belt. We want to pull this up past these two pulleys. And get it onto this one here in the back. There we go. Now we got it around that one. Now we need to get it on these two. Sorry if this is a bad angle. I don't know if there's any good angle for this. You can get it on one. And yeah, it's way too tight to get it on the other. So you turn this. Feels like that's as tight as it wants to go. There we go. Phew. Alright. We are on all of our belts. Or all of our pulleys, I mean. We're on up there. We're on down there. We're on over both of those. If you can even see that. Let's tighten her up. Alrighty, look at that thing. Looks pretty nice. I might need to adjust the tension on the belt, but that's just twisting that little key. And I can also change my cutting height right here. But let's go see how she cuts. of that level. There's a lot of up and down dirt clumps, unfortunately. Maybe this thing will struggle a bit more than I thought. See if I can't just get around and mow around the solar panels. I'll move this stupid thing. And yeah, I'll just try to get over there, and then I'll get up around the cars. Oh, and Andrew's here. Pepper.
He's like, I've not seen my back.
Tuna, come here. It does. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it quits for now since my buddy just showed up, but this thing actually mows pretty well. Made a nice little path. Mowed a little path right here just to get some grass away from the panels. It's not a bad cut. Okay, so this thing's working awesome, but the turning radius is a little broad for some of those tight areas back there, and there's stumps and lumps of dirt and everything, and I don't want to damage this thing too bad. So I got this push mower here. That's probably what'll be what fights through all that mess, and for now I'm just going to try to get myself mowing some of this out here. There are some stumps out there I'll have to avoid and whatnot, but they should be a little more noticeable than back over there. So let's see how this thing handles this. Alright, well, she mows. And she mows good. Just got a little path through this brush. Got a lot of out here down. This is all just kind of thin little wildflowers, but it's just about all chopped. Of course, I didn't get too close to any of these stumps, which I need to grind up. But this looks a whole lot better. Cut in a little more over here. Just cleared up like a nice parking spot. Need to finish clearing out there, get those trees. I'll get the push mower and fight my way through the rest of this. But I was a little worried bringing the case back here just because there's so many clumps of dirt from where I've ground stumps in the past, and there could very well still be stumps sticking up that I missed. I got over here a bit too. You can see where it hasn't been mowed versus where it has. I'm gonna try to get this little push mower going. It's probably been almost 3 years now without firing up. And we'll change the oil and see how that gets through that tall grass over there. And I'll fire this up real quick and get that out of the way so I can mow that space. And yeah, that's the game plan. Stupid GoPro didn't record that, but moved the big tractor. And we got this space freed up. I'll drag that out of here. And then we'll mess with that. Usually when a mower like this has just been sitting for a while, and it typically just needs some fresh gas. It's got a lot of gas in here. It doesn't smell great. You know, since it's got so much, I'm just gonna try to hit it with a little starting fluid, and maybe air filter could be blown out. A little starting fluid. That was weird. Never seen that happen before. But at least it came on. Alright, let's see if this will fire back up and we can get through this grass. And I'll just mow this little bit just to just till the engine gets warm, and then I'll change the oil, and then I'll try to get all back there. I guess that'll mean that the oil's hot enough. That wasn't much, but it was actually handling it pretty well, and that's like knee-high grass right there. Alright, this is an old empty container of lacquer thinner. Twist off? Oh. This is an old thing of oil. I'm going to transfer this into here. there's our new oil pan. And then I'll dump that into here when that's done. But I don't know how else to drain this other than just tipping it over. So that's what we're about to do. Perfect. Let's see if it'll fire back up and keep mowing. Let's open that carb up. See if we can crack the bowl, see if we're getting any fuel. Alright, we got fuel flowing through. Let that drip for a second just to clean out the bowl. So that's not our issue. Let's see if we can just keep mowing and maybe it'll push through its problems. See if I can find these spiders. Keep mowing past these giant freaking spiders. There's one. Look at that egg sac. Whew. It's a big mama. I don't know what happened. It seemed like we were rolling. Maybe it does just need some fresh gas. But it's weird that it was going so good for a minute. Alright, I just dumped out some of the old gas. Can't really see it, but it was definitely a little varnished. Been sitting there for a few years. Let me dump in some new gas. Some fresh gas. Whoops. Looks like that was plenty. I'm gonna crack the bowl again. dripping out. Okay. It actually made it through that knee-high grass. Did a pretty good job. Tuna's standing out there in the middle of it. Nothing crowding the solar panels anymore. I'll trim up the rest with the weed whacker, but really just needed to get some new gas to the carb, it seems like. Probably still use a proper cleanup, but I'm pretty happy with it that it worked after sitting for almost 3 years. Good old Toro. And the ride mower also did a great job. I'll keep using that for sure.